I'm here. Hello. On time today, which is great. Hi, I'm Anna. For anybody who's not watched one of these shows before, um, do please actually share this because not everyone gets notified this is going live at this time. So it'd be really, really great if you could maybe, if one person just tells a friend, or if there's a share button, if I remember correctly, on Facebook on the right hand side, and just share it on your timeline so all of your friends can see my face, but also to hear about the Children's Society and generally what we're going to talk about later. So I just let some people come into the feed. Do comment where you're watching from, how you found us, but also just really how you are doing. So, oh, thanks, Nathan. Shared it straight away. I like that. You're on board. Someone's had their coffee this morning. I think I might have had too much, and now I'm really hot. But anyway, welcome to our 8th installment of Virtual Coffee and Chat with me, Anna. I don't think I've actually introduced myself properly. I have been working at the Children's Society for, can I say, a year and a half now. Thanks, Ruth. Just been working in the kind of the fundraiser marketing team. So, and apparently I like to talk, which is why they asked me to do this. Don't know about you, but sometimes I like my own voice. I don't know, actually. Do I? I don't know. Anyway, so we host these weekly virtual coffee and chat on Facebook and YouTube. Hello to the people who are watching YouTube too. And it's basically to keep you guys up to date on what, as a charity, we're doing, how we're working with young people, and how the young people are doing, more importantly, actually, and just a general chat with some quite cool guests. So that's been people like Mark Russell, our CEO. It's had Alex, who's one of our researchers. We've had some guest spots from some cool supporters. So yeah, just keep it coming about who you'd like to hear from, who you would maybe if you would actually like someone to do a guest host with me, or me take a week off or something. That would be lovely. I'm joking. I actually really enjoy doing this. But yes, it would be great if you could comment anytime, comment today specifically, and say kind of who you want to hear from, but also any specific topics you want to hear more about. But anyway, I am in a new room today. So for those who have been watching us quite a lot, you've had a little tour around my house. I'm in my bedroom because the rest of my house is a sauna. I mean, it's still really hot in here. And because it's lunchtime, my housemates will be eating their lunch downstairs. So I don't want to bother them. I have asked them if they want to come on, but they've said no. I think it's rude, but anyway, joking. Anyway, so yeah, there's some photos of me behind me. I've actually had to remove a lot of dressing gowns on here because my mum, who should be watching, hi Kathy, bought me a zebra onesie, and I don't know if that's that professional to have in the corner when we're talking about serious things. So that's now on my bed, so my room's a little bit messy. But anyway, I will stop waffling on about myself and my room. But anyway, do let us know where you're from, where you're listening or watching us from, whether you work for the Children's Society, are a supporter, or like Nathan, he's a proud supporter and he's part of the marathon team for us. Oh, that's incredible. Nathan, have you ever done a marathon before? Love to hear more about that. I'm sure you talked to some of my colleagues, Daisy and Nina. They're our fab marathon team. And I think we've also I know we've got a regular watcher, Beth Joy, who watches us from the MQ, Mental Health Charity. So hi, Beth. I know you sneakily watch sometimes. But before we get started, I actually want to say a huge happy birthday to Nikki Bell. She works behind the scenes on all of this. She's the one who got this all started, and I don't know what we would do without her, realistically. So I hope your day is full of pizza and Bruce Springsteen and lots of cuddles from your cats and your little boy. But yeah, happy birthday. she's very happy now. We've both got shared love for Bruce Springsteen. So yeah, I think that's a good way to spend a day. Anyway. So last week we focused on mental health awareness because that was the week, and kindness was the theme. So this can be something like cleaning up someone's dishes for them, sending them a funny photo, or realistically just kind of smiling to somebody that you don't know and saying hello, saying morning. That'd be quite nice. Obviously social distance though, remember that. But it's also being kind to yourself. And I'd still love to hear moments of kindness that you've done for yourself. Because I don't know if you know, but the Mental Health Foundation found that 63% of UK adults agreed that when someone's kind, when other people are kind, it has a positive impact on their mental health. And the same proportion of people agree that being kind to someone else has a huge positive impact on their own mental health and kind of physical well-being. That's 2/3 of people. So imagine that, like just by smiling to somebody, you can actually improve your own mental health. So last week I asked a few of you to share moments of kindness you've seen. So I just want to share a few of them with you. So Kirsty has been baking cupcakes and delivering them for all her friends in her neighbourhood, obviously leaving them on the porch. Carrie bought a sandwich for a homeless person, and then someone else witnessed that and actually did the same for somebody else. Someone has just had twins, and the whole street they live on has been taking it in turns to cook them meals each night so they don't need to worry about food. Maureen's grandparents, their neighbours, always check on them regularly during lockdown and ask them if they just want some treats from the store. And which I thought was really cute, Jane has shared saying, about a year ago, my granddad missed his train to Manchester because he was so slow to walk down the platform. And this is her writing. Honestly, he is really slow. But they let him on the next train with his existing tickets and then upgraded him to first class. I mean, that's such a simple gesture that it would have been an empty seat otherwise. But it probably made a great deal to not only him, but his family. So do continue to share your moments of kindness, and maybe actually nominate somebody to share their moment of kindness. So with the hashtag kindness matters, that would be really, really fabulous if we could just keep it going, not just for Mental Health Week, but up and beyond during this pandemic. So get on to today's show. So the Children's Society have services up and down the country that support young people with mental health and support them in their well-being. Last week, I was lucky enough to have one of our amazing service managers, Dave, and back due to popular demand, we have him back, which is great.
Hi, hello.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm all right. Like I told you earlier, a bit of a mad day in my house. I've been working whilst trying to look after a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, but we're all safe, we're all well, and it's been interesting but fun.
And now this is your break, right? Just chatting to me.
Well, of course, yeah. This doesn't feel like work. It's so enjoyable.
Wow, that's the right answer. This is why we like you coming back.
No problems.
So for those who didn't catch last week's show, which people, you can still watch last week's show. It stays on online forever. But I know, scary. Dave is one of the service managers at one of our emotional health and wellbeing service called Beam in Sandwell. So can you just tell us quick, what is Beam? What do you do?
We offer support for young people around their emotional mental health. The simplest way of saying it is we provide a space where young people can talk about how they're feeling, but it's in a kind of non-judgmental, very friendly, very warm way. Young people don't need appointments. They can just come and see us whenever they want, and they can speak to one of my staff. I've got therapists, I've got counsellors, and I've got youth workers who are all really, really friendly, but they know what they're talking about when it comes to emotional health. So obviously we're not doing that now because we're all stuck in our, well, I'm in my son's bedroom actually. We're all stuck at home. So right at the moment, if young people in Sandwell want some emotional support from us, there's a phone service and an email. They've got to they've got an email to get support. That's what I'm trying to say.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. Well, just to start it off, I'm gonna pounce this one. Well, actually, I've already kind of told you about this, so I'm gonna have a little game. So it's a 60-second game, and you'll be the first person that we put on the leaderboard. So you need to answer as many questions as possible in 60 seconds.
okay.
And for viewers, I don't have a fancy title for this yet. It's just 60-second game. If you are creative, please can you come up with a name? Because otherwise it sounds so boring. So please can people come up with suggestions, right? So I'm going to put a timer on the clock. Because that obviously makes sense. And we're going to try and see how many questions you can answer. Okay, some of them will be simple, some of them will be quick. Okay, I know. Okay, right, you ready?
Yeah, go on in.
Okay, poached or fried?
Poached.
Still or sparkling?
Quite like sparkling.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
What animal would you be?
Oh, elephant.
Favorite cereal?
Porridge.
Oh, Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. Full
Vanilla
fat.
Yeah, okay. I like the specification. Vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Broccoli or cauliflower?
Broccoli.
Sweet or sour?
I go sweet.
Custard or ice cream?
Custard.
Mayo or ketchup?
Ketchup.
What was your first ever job?
First ever job. I worked at Marks and Spencer's in London Coney on the menswear. Very good here.
Good. TV or film?
Probably film.
Last thing you ate?
A fig.
I never in a million years could I have betted that you were going to say a fig.
No. There was a pack of 4. I've had 3 today already. I just really like them. But
I don't think I've ever eaten one.
Well, here's a weird fact about figs and me. I absolutely love fresh figs. I think they're one of my favourite fruits. But I can't stand dried figs. What's that all about?
That's really weird.
Ridiculous, eh?
Well, you just stumped me. So basically, funny enough, the next question was going to be, what's your favourite dish? Is it going to be something fig related?
No. Well, I don't mind actually if you have a fresh fig, bit of basil and a bit of parma ham, very, very nice.
Okay.
But dried, like in a fig roll or anything, no.
Oh, okay. Well, you got 15 questions.
Okay.
So, but I have a bonus question.
Okay.
Right. So it's another thing on the leaderboard. Okay. How far is it in miles from the London office to the CAMS building where Beam Sandwell are on Saturdays?
That's easy for you to say. How many miles?
How many miles?
Oh, I don't. 243.
I mean, you're not even close. It's 117 miles.
Yeah. Never mind.
I'll put that down on the leaderboard. Basically, every week I'll be asking somebody from like one service to another, and that will be a different leaderboard. But okay, so the next person will have to beat 14 questions.
Okay.
I think
I did okay. Yeah.
Good start. So we've already talked about Beam, but you've mentioned about the calling system that happens at Beam.
Yeah.
There has been a bit of research, and an out-of-hours mental health crisis line operating near me has seen double the amount of calls since lockdown started. And in April, calls alone were 90% higher than in January. And they're also seeing quite a lot of calls coming from male. What are you guys seeing? Are you kind of seeing similar trends, or?
Well, you kind of cut in and out on my screen then, so I'm going to answer the question that I thought you asked.
Oh no!
I think I got most of it. Yeah, if it's the wrong question, then who cares? I think you're asking about what kind of trends we'd seen in our phone support system. So interesting that kind of the crisis lines have seen an increase. I think you said. We have seen quite a big decrease in our number of people using our service.
Okay.
So, usually it's kind of rough figures, but we might get 100 young people through the doors in any given week. It's really low at the moment, maybe kind of 10. And actually, weirdly, this week, because it's half term, it's really, really slow. And that's something we see when our drop-ins are open as well. But also,
I think Dave's frozen just for a second. Oh, is he coming back?
oh, I'm back. Was that me disappearing?
It was you.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was because I was talking and to a blank screen, but I carried on because I wasn't quite sure if you were hearing. So I don't know where I got up to. Anyway, so about
Oh, Dave, you're frozen again. Oh no! This is the power of the internet. It's not very powerful. This is a problem. Well, I'm just going to fill for a little bit and carry on talking.
So what I'm going to do, I'm just in a different bedroom. So I'm just going to walk. Oh, that's a towel hanging up on my stairs. I'm just going to do some walking, see if I can get a bit nearer the router. Bit of ad lib, but
that's okay.
Oh yeah, Harry. There you go.
Oh, it might be David.
There you go.
There you go. Too much.
Rory, get on the internet. I think my wife was on you. Well, I think she was watching me, which made it crash. So we'll see how we get on.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like I'm not really like that's better. Yeah, I'm in the kitchen. Plenty of washing up. Anyway, to finish off the longest question in human history, other services, for example, CAMS in Sandwell and countrywide have seen a massive decrease in kind of referrals. I think CAMS countrywide on what they had before. So I think that shows that the need isn't there as much potentially, or the access isn't there. It's really hard to know, but we do see in our service a lot of the issues that young people come in with are about school, whether that's school particularly, being exam stress or whatever, or issues at school such as bullying or what have you. So that's my guess. It's hard to know why these numbers are down. But it's interesting. I didn't know that kind of the crisis lines and crisis referrals have gone up. So that's not a good thing at all.
I suppose for young people, like you said, is that their school sometimes the issue. So without school, they're finding other ways to kind of cope. But then maybe, when they do go back to school, there's probably going to be even more worries because they're not used to it after such a long time.
Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety building up about what life's going to be like. I think if it was going to be life the same, we could just prepare for that. But it's kind of ending lockdown, but not quite sure what life's going to be like. And that's for all of us. What's shopping going to be like? What family gathering is going to be like? What's school going to be like? What's work going to be like? And we can guess, but no one really knows. And that can be quite unsettling for a lot of people. And I know it's unsettling for a lot of the young people we're talking to in our service over the phones.
Yeah, and I think we're hearing quite a lot about the new normal, but no one, like you said, no one actually knows what that means, and it's actually quite worrying for people to go, yeah, but I don't want a new normal. I want to just be able to cope realistically. Is there any how's your team talking to young people about this?
I think there's a real sense of I don't want to sound like a politician, but we're in this together. A lot of times when young people came to our drop-ins and they've got certain issues, they're anxious about schoolwork or they're feeling a bit low or unmotivated, my team could talk to them, usually from experience. All of us have felt low or felt anxious, and also using their professional skills. But this is really, when we're talking about kind of lockdown and pandemic, we're talking about it, but we're all going through it together. And that's something we've been really conscious of as a team, is that a young person might be talking about a family member who's got poorly, but that could just as easily happen to one of the staff. So it's like that we are doing this together, and that brings a different element when you're supporting young people, because sometimes there's that potential that us as staff members can be triggered by something they're saying, because we are all doing this. If say a young person says, I'm really missing this person because of this, and we miss someone because of that as well. That's, so in some ways that makes it tricky. In some ways that boosts our shared empathy with young people. But it's an interesting factor, something to be aware of.
Yeah. So a lot of people have also been saying we all need to focus on our own well-being. And I've heard about, different types of well-being. Can you kind of tell me kind of a bit more about well-being and what it actually means?
Well-being, it's very, very simply, it's how you are, how you look after yourself. Quite a lot of us, I find this especially in kind of our role, in a kind of care profession. We are brilliant at caring for others and putting others first and knowing kind of what good advice people should do in certain situations. And quite often we can be terrible at kind of listening to our own advice, because we think actually everyone else is more important. I'm going to help them. I'm going to go help them, and that is really helpful. But actually, if you're just doing that and not looking after yourself, so simple things like are you? Well, there's the 5 ways to well-being, which I told you about on the email. You sound surprised, but
my acting skills. Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
Well, I've left my notebook upstairs, so I'm going to try and remember them. So the 5 ways to well-being is evidence-based that if you kind of recognise these things and do them in your life, you will feel better, apparently. So one I really wanted to talk about today was connecting with people, because I think that's really pertinent in lockdown, how we connect. I've got a bit of a story to tell, actually, because connecting with people isn't just being around them. So you can be in a house with someone and not connect with them. So a couple of years ago, when I was working at Paws, which is similar to Beam, but it's in Birmingham, I worked with a young person, and she was really low, and she wasn't getting on with her family, lots of arguments in the house, and this was really affecting her. She's like, I don't get on with my mum and dad. Every time we do kind of see each other, we argue. So she spent a lot of time in her room and was getting really low. So through talking to her, I realised actually this relationship with her mum and dad was really important to her. And we set a goal on how to connect. Well, she set it, really, because that's important. I said, what kind of things have you enjoyed doing with your mum and dad in the past? And she just said, do you know what? I really enjoy when we watch I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here together. And it's something we do. And funny enough, like, it was time for a new series, whenever that was. And so that was one of her goals. And she went back to her mum and dad and said, this is what's been suggested by this man, Dave at Paws. Can we do it? Can we do phones off, all that stuff, sit together as a family and watch I'm a Celebrity? And it really kind of helped us feel connected. So connected isn't just sitting next to each other or passing it on the stairs or whatever. Connected is doing something together and being intentional about it. So we're all with our families at the moment, and we're talking to a lot of families through the phone support who are really struggling with that being together. But I would encourage people to connect with each other rather than just be together, and hopefully that'll help your well-being.
That's perfect. I was just muted just then. I was agreeing, but a helicopter is just circling above my house. I've not done anything, I promise not. But no, I think that is really true, because too often it's like the whole phrase where they say, oh, it's coming back, go away. It's the whole thing about you can feel really lonely in a crowd, and it is without the connection with the people around you. And it's like you said, it could be something as simple as watching a TV show together. It's finding that common kind of shared mutual appreciation for something. I think that's really sweet. And then because I did a bit of research about the 5 steps. What else was there? There was about connection with other people, physical activity. They always say, don't they?
Yeah.
What else? I'm trying to.
So it's learn something, take notice, and give the other 3.
Perfect. What about, I suppose, the problem with the learning aspect is that as soon as I saw the learning section, I was like, oh my God, I've not learned a new language. I've not learned how to sew. have I failed during lockdown? But it's more than that, isn't it, really?
Of course, yeah. And do you know what? I looked at them because I knew we were going to talk about it, and I was like, I came up with learning a language. I tried Duolingo Spanish for about a week and then didn't do it. But I think with learning, if you're looking to do something you learn, it's got to be something that you enjoy. It can't just be, I need to learn something because I've got all this free time.
Yeah.
And so I've been thinking about, there's lots of things that lockdown kind of means we can't do. But, you know, then that can be quite negative. You can get a bit down about that. But actually, what can we do? And so something I've been learning, which my family have been really enjoying, is I've been really learning how to cook. Now, I can cook anyway, but doing some kind of something's a bit special. So I've been pickling. I've been pickling my own veg. Okay, hold on, wait there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, pickled onions.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know. And then I think there's a pickled shallot in here as well. There you go. I know, yeah. I was really, really chuffed. And also, I think Saturday just gone, I made Scotch eggs from scratch. I'll show you. I'll send you the photo, Anna. Honestly,
definitely.
And I'll tell you, this is genuinely true. I think it was 2 days ago. I had a morning snack, and I had a pickled cucumber gherkin that I'd made with one of my Scotch eggs, and it was one of my best moments of lockdown because it was really tasty. And actually, I was like, I did this, and that was a really fantastic thing I did for my well-being.
I think that's great. Yeah, I actually I love cooking, but actually I've done loads of new dishes, and I suppose that is learning. Like every time I go out for a social distancing picnic, I'm now making like different versions of veggie sausage rolls, and I'm learning how to do it every time. Like learning how to do the pastry, so I am learning. Oh, stop being so hard on myself. How do you pickle?
How do you pickle?
Yeah,
well, I just read how to do it in the Good Food magazine. So you've got to brine your veg first, which means you kind of put them in salt water for about a day. Okay. And then you look at a pickling recipe. And so what's in there is white wine vinegar, loads of sugar, and loads of spices, really. It's got quite a lot of ginger and chili in there, so they're actually quite spicy. And then you leave it in you've got to make sure you sterilise your jars first as well. That's quite important.
Okay.
And then you leave it for 2 weeks, and you get really excited. And what I did, me and my team do a video call to end every day. And I ate my first pickled vegetable live in front of my team, and it was an experience. It was really fun.
Like celebrity, get me out of here.
Definitely, yeah. It was good. It was good.
Oh, I'm chuffed for you. Well, I've some people have been commenting. So Nikki said she's been teaching her son emotional well-being during lockdown. It's nice to have this extra time to grow him as a kind human. I think that's really nice. Like, I don't have kids myself, but I know that a lot of my friends who are teachers are trying to tell their kids not to focus so much on the academic side of things. Like, use this chance to like learn new skills, but not just skills as in learning how to sew, but as in skills on how to like develop as a human, really. Because you've got 2 young kids, don't you?
I do, Harry and Leo. I'm not sure if they're watching because they're just in there. But I'll say hello anyway. Hello, boys. Hello, Laurie. Mum, Dad. Anyone else who's watching? Not sure.
Yeah, last time you had like a whole troop coming on.
Oh, yeah, my brother was watching from America. I haven't told him this time, so he'll have to watch it afterwards. Yeah, I don't think
and he can just laugh at us talking about pickling because
I think there'll be a few people.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Really, I mean, we could have like just spoken for ages. To be honest, I know that.
That ends with a really quick story that I wanted to say.
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
Really quick. So, thinking about kindness, and I wanted to share it last week, but I forgot about it. So, do you remember in that lockdown? No, the week before lockdown, when it was all just like no one could buy any bog roll or hand sanitizer or whatever that stuff. One of our drop-ins in Cradley Heath also doubles up as a food bank, and sometimes people drop off deliveries for the food bank. And this fairly elderly woman came in with a massive tray of antibac and soap and bog roll and said, "This is for the food bank because those are the people who are going to need it most." And do you know what? I was blown away. It's this lovely, lovely old lady in that time when majority of people were panic buying and being selfish, or just not buying and try not to be selfish. But she chose to kind of go extra and to give. So
Yeah.
a nice story to share.
I think that's lovely. I love little kind stories like that. Like there's a food bank stall outside my local shop. So I went to go and give I think they were asking for soap bars and crisps and like treats more than stock items. So I bought all the treats, and the lady was like, "Oh yeah, it's amazing. So many 20 to 30-year-olds are giving more." And I'm just like, "Oh, that's quite nice that like I'm not saying that my generation aren't given a lot, but we're having more. It's more that we've got the opportunity and we can slow down our lives. So that slowing down my shopping means that I can actually go, oh no, it's not just what's on my list. I need to buy some things for a food bank. Well, that is a lovely story, and thank you so much for sharing that. But I can post some things in the group later about steps to well-being, etc. And I know we've had loads of people commenting about different things they want to hear about. But Dave, you were so popular last week. I'm definitely going to have you on again. Because especially,
honestly, I've got loads more stories I wanted to tell, but I can see the time, and we've been ravaged on too long.
It's all right. Like, I think, especially as mental health, it shouldn't just be for 1 week. I think it should be like a regular occurrence, us catching up about it. So thank you so much for coming on.
Really enjoyed it.
And I hope you can try and have some lunch, Dave. Dave's gone. Bye, Dave. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody who's managed to join in. I know it was an earlier time this week, but it was just due to other commitments from various people. But we are hoping to have a regular slot. So I did put a poll on the group earlier that I think it was last week, asking about what time people would prefer. If people could go back and fill that in, I'll post it again, just so we can get more of an idea of what time people do prefer this to be, because we want as many people as possible to watch this live, because I love the communication, and I'm sure you guys do too. So carry on sharing your moments of kindness, carry on asking and telling us who you want to hear from, and just carry on updating me about how you're going lockdown. And I will see you next week. I will announce who we've got next week soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But anyway, see you guys and have a lovely, lovely week. Bye.